This is such an important place to me. Before I was a politician, I was a public school teacher right here at Rhodes Middle School. And this place shaped me into the leader I am today. And I'm so honored to be here with some of my colleagues in the legislature and some of my former students. Still can't believe that they are adults and that they're going to be voting in this election. But they are the reason that I do this work. They are the reason I ran for the state legislature. They're the reason that I'm running for the U.S. Senate. And so it's appropriate on our first day of this Take Back Texas tour. We're starting it here at Rhodes Middle School on the west side of San Antonio. You know, I promised my students when I left the classroom that I would continue to fight for them, even if I wasn't their teacher. And I led an education nonprofit for several years. And when a seat in the state legislature opened up, I threw my hat in the ring. I was 28 years old. I'd never run for office before. But I ran because I saw how decisions made in the state capitol hurt students like mine at Rhodes Middle School. And one classroom, I had 45 kids. There weren't enough desks for all those kids, so I had students sitting on the air conditioning unit. That was all because our state legislature cut more than $5 billion from our public schools the year before I came into the classroom. So I saw how those decisions made in the halls of power hurt students like mine. And after I got elected, I kept my promise to my kids, and I fought for them in the trenches of the Texas House. I brought Democrats and Republicans together to pass the first ever cap on pre-K class sizes in state history. I passed the largest early childhood education bill in recent memory, and I passed a major bill to infuse our schools with desperately needed mental health resources. And then I was proud to stand by my colleagues here, and I led the fight against Greg Abbott's private school voucher scam, which was backed by some of the largest billionaire mega donors in this state. We went toe-to-toe with those billionaires, and we fought for neighborhood schools just like Rhodes. And as this voucher legislation has rolled out in recent weeks, all of our predictions and our warnings have come true. The vast majority of the money is going to wealthier, more affluent families at the expense of students here on the west side of San Antonio. And now those same billionaires are pushing a federal voucher scam to defund schools across this country. They're gutting the Department of Education. They're attacking our students and our teachers in our nation's capital. And it's why we need an experienced fighter for public education in the halls of power in Washington, D.C. It means so much to start this tour here, because this is where I learned what service really means. My students taught me how to be a leader. And so I'm so grateful to be spending this first day of our tour with them here at Rhodes Middle School. We need a senator who's going to fight for our schools and our educators and our students. We need a senator who's going to fight to raise teacher pay. We need a senator who's going to fight for universal early childhood education for every single kid in this country. We need a teacher in the U.S. Senate.